if you find yourself in a place where you have now made everything about the kids, how do you get back on track? And I think it's in those practical ways that we talked about. Finding time to put the phone down, not with the kids, even turn off the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like just to find moments where the two of you can be together.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
it is important because oftentimes a lot of couples do get to that place. They do get to that place of drifting.
Yeah.
And the first step is really to know that you've drifted apart.
Yeah.
Like evaluate like where were we versus where we are now. Do we feel closer? Do we feel like we're apart? And the awareness then creates this acceptance of like, okay, this is the reality. Like this isn't what I want to show social media. This isn't what I want the people at the church to know when we walk in holding hands and we smiling and waving and all the things. This is where we are. How can we not drift? We accept where we are. Now we have to have a conversation.
We still do. We still do. We still do.
We still do after all this time at the altar. I alter my mind and vow to God I love you till he make his return. The rain should be the least of your concern. Under God's umbrella, I promise to provide and preserve his word and to serve your mind and spirit. Let me drive the boat. I promise I'ma steer it. The devil cannot get near it. You'll notice soon as you hear it. You need me, I need you. Even after the altar, we still do.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Still Do. We're your host. I'm Jermaine.
I'm Geraldine.
And whether you've been married for decades and just got married, We Still Do is for you.
Yes, and if you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe. You hit that bell notification so that you don't miss an episode. We do upload weekly, and we're great to have you.
Yes.
Like, let's become family. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So make sure you
At
subscribe.
the family reunion, who we introducing?
Hey.
Who we introducing?
We
This
want to
is my
introduce
wife,
you.
Lena.
Oh, you still
And
going.
she's looking real good. When she got married, she won her husband with a little hood at the family.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a fan. I'm definitely not a rapper. So
It's okay. You did good.
with
honey.
that, how are you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Really, really good. I had a great morning. I'm very thankful. It was productive. And for me, that was a win. I've been feeling a little off, but today was definitely a on day. So that's a win.
That's good. I'm happy for you. I like that
Yeah.
for you. That look good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like them little glasses you got on too. Where them come from?
These are my prescription glasses. I
Okay.
probably need a new prescription. I think my eyes have gotten worse actually as I've gotten a little bit older. Mainly, I just needed them for reading, but I have a sty in my eye, so I couldn't
Oh, they
beautify my
didn't know that?
face. It's okay.
They didn't know that because you got your
We
glasses
family.
on
We
and you got your
family.
hair covering the angle from the camera to your eye. They wouldn't have seen that. They probably still can't see it.
They still probably can't see it, but because
Now
I
they're
didn't
gonna
have
actually
makeup, I'm like,
zoom in on your eyes.
zoomy. But yeah, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
How you
I
doing,
get it.
handsome?
I'm good. I snoozed this morning. Snoozed my alarm clock, which was weird. I feel like I heard you tell me like turn it off or something.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did.
Because
Okay,
you snoozed
so
multiple times. I'm like, bruh, how am I going to go back to sleep?
yeah.
In this case, I
So
did
it
not.
wasn't too bad. I snoozed. I still got up a little after 4 this morning, so it wasn't too bad.
It's cool. You still
Yeah.
got to do your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
So what we talking about today? You want to tell the peoples?
Yeah. So, today we're talking about this balance of quality time, just with your spouse and, family time. And
The B word. I don't like the B word.
what's the B word?
Balance. I feel like there's no such thing. Like I always, for a while, like I just got to get my life in order. I just got to find balance. And I've never found it and search for it,
Probably because you looked in the wrong place.
Okay. I feel like it's not really a thing. You're not going to find balance. Like some things, I heard it like this, like in different seasons, some things may weigh more than others, or you may
Mhm.
have to tend to something a little bit more than the other. So it doesn't mean like that it's any less of importance. So it's
Mhm.
kind of hard to balance the actual scale of the things that you are juggling in life.
Right. And that makes sense. But for the sake of the audience, just
Yes.
this idea of, trying to find that equal not necessarily equal distribution of weight,
Mm-hmm.
but figuring out how to navigate that,
Yes.
just in different seasons. And I think today, why we want to talk about that is because we've heard several couples say this is an issue in their relationship,
Mm-hmm.
that I want more quality time with you, and I don't feel like I get that. Quality time with me plus kids is not quality time at all.
Yes.
And so we wanted to talk about that because when we think about how that affects marriages, I think it's very subtle. And I think it definitely, when you look back over years after, it's become a pattern, that you realize, like, man, we got here and we don't know how we got here,
Yeah.
and it's in the small moments, that becomes a problem. And so
Yeah.
I think that's why we wanted to talk about it. And I'll just kind of let you kick it off. So what's your initial thoughts about that?
My initial thoughts is that it's a lot when you have kids and you bring kids into the equation. You got to juggle like homework, cooking, cleaning, school, extracurricular activities. Like they demand a lot of our attention and our focus.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in marriage, if we don't want to address and face our own issues, then the kids can become a buffer
Mm-hmm.
to where now we are using the kids. We can all get along. We can do things together as a family. But if we're alone, they're scared of what that can look like because of maybe awkwardness, because there's such a disconnection, or because of conversations they know are long overdue,
Mm-hmm.
or because of unresolved conflict, or just this elephant in the room, like things that they don't want to address. And so the kids become a buffer and they make it all about the kids,
Yeah. And I think in that, you brought up a great point because there's so much that they carry. Like you brought up just the homework, the being a wife, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, and the being a mom, the house, the job. And it really wears at your energy.
Oh, for sure.
When you think about when you first get together, you don't have all that per se. At least most couples, they don't have all that.
Right.
The one thing they do have that's very strong is this desire for one another. And it's almost as if like when time goes on, that desire might dwindle, and now it becomes work to be together,
Mm-hmm.
because we've seen areas where we might not like in our spouse. We've seen areas that we have to address. And when we are together one-on-one, we might have to address these problems if we are going to just have a great evening, or the evening or the moment we spend together one-on-one. It might feel awkward, as you said earlier,
Yeah.
because we have to address this. And when we are by ourselves, there is no distraction. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be by ourselves, we
Mm-hmm.
can be on our phones, cool. But when we talk about wanting to be closer, wanting to feel this felt sense of a connection between us, if we don't address whatever that is, and one of the partners want a deeper connection and the other one is just like, I just want to chill, like I don't really want to get into it, that might really make for a bad time.
Yeah.
And so if we are spending time together plus kids or plus family, that makes for, okay, like I can be around you and like I don't have to necessarily give you all my attention, like I can put my attention here. And so I think the question that needs to be asked, you know what I'm saying, for each partner is, why does family time become the quality time measure?
Mm-hmm.
When we think of quality time spent, or when we think of when we and I would even say when we think of, why has family time why is that more desirable than us being together?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is just my personal opinion. I don't think family time should be more enjoyable than quality time with your couple.
With
And
your
I
spouse,
know, with your spouse. And I know that a lot of people might hear that and say but I enjoy family time. We enjoy it too.
I think you should actually say it again for the people that didn't catch it.
We enjoy family time too. But we enjoy our alone time way more than family time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and being around our kids, like having fun with them, singing little songs, going on little walks, going to the beach, going to the museum, like doing all the things together is fun. And it's also work.
Yeah.
It's also work. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the work doesn't make family time less desirable.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there should be a greater desire to spend with your spouse. And if you don't enjoy the one-on-one time with your spouse, you have to ask why.
Yeah.
You have to ask why, because if you don't know what's pulling you guys apart or what you're avoiding, you're never going to get to the satisfaction you want. You know what I'm saying? And so the kids do become a buffer. The kids become the thing that takes our attention, like spending time with, like, you know, family functions, like that becomes where we come alive. You know, like I remember having a conversation with a guy and he was telling me how like his relatives, like he feels that when he's around his extended family, like that's where he can be himself. You know what I'm saying? That's where he can show up and just be the fun, the funny, you know what I'm saying, the life of the party like he used to be. But when he's around his wife, it's a matter of like, man, like I just feel like I'm in a shell. Like I feel like we don't have fun anymore.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
That's a difficult place to be. And if you don't ask the question why, you'll continue to live in a place of complacency.
Mm.
And I think that's a terrible place to be in a marriage.
Yeah, it really is a terrible place to be in a marriage. I'm just thinking, obviously, there's a lot of factors that can tie into that, but I think it's good what you said. Like, for one, you got to ask the question why, and then you need to talk with your spouse to figure out a solution to that why, whatever that is. That I realize that I feel more alive with my family than I do with you, and I really want to cultivate what we have. What's interesting is I was actually doing a Bible study this morning, and it was talking about the different types of love. One of them being agape, which we know is the love of God. God is love. We as image bearers should bear that same love when it comes to loving one another, right? And so to be able to share that kind of love with your spouse, it takes nourishing, cherishing, and cultivating that kind of love. It's not something that you're going to always feel, but you have to be committed to it, and you have to be willing to do in the work. One thing you said is when we're spending time with the kids, it's work, but we still enjoy it. So even though that they found like, okay, we can use the kids as a buffer and we enjoy this, it still requires work. However, we're not always willing to put in the work that's required for the marriage.
Yeah.
And I find that very interesting. We know that marriage is work. Some people say marriage is hard. I don't subscribe to that. But I do believe that it is work because it takes intentional effort. And so the fact that we make time for family because that's important, it tells us leave and cleave to your wife. And so not leave and cleave to your kids. So it was us before the kids. And like you said, if we're not careful, we will find ourselves when the kids are gone, we won't recognize each other because we haven't been cultivating our love over the years with the kids. We've been so focused on cultivating, nourishing, and raising them. And actually statistics show that empty nesters, like 40% likely to divorce after the kids have gone because they don't recognize, like, why are we even here? All this time, and they realize they were only in it for the kids.
Yeah. And so I think that's a hidden cost that couples don't realize. Like when we get so wrapped up in whether they're young kids, whether they're, you know, school age, high school, like we're going to all the events, we have to take them to and from, like as they get older, like they need us to take them places, to do more, to be available. Like we have to do more. And if we aren't intentional with spending time with our spouse, if we aren't intentional with making sure that we set aside time to prioritize what's important to us, which is intentional moments to connect. If we don't do that, the hidden cost of, you know, family time and not prioritizing quality time as a couple is we find out that when it's time for our kids to go off, that we don't know each other anymore.
Yeah.
And because we don't know each other anymore, it feels as if we're living with a stranger. And we don't be as open with strangers. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't we don't share what's important to us with strangers. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of like, dang, how did we get to this place of not knowing each other?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, I think, is what makes it so difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're gone, they're gone. It's just us.
Yeah.
And this whole time we haven't been spending time with just us. When we get married, you know what I'm saying? Like when, you know, the scripture you brought up earlier about leave and cleave, you know what I'm saying? And that's, as we've said before, like that's a matter of like reprioritizing what's important. So you leave your mother, father, you know, whether you're a husband, a male or female, leave your mother, father, and now you're reprioritizing the relationship basically that you've seen from your mother and father, you know, or a lot of people that didn't have that example, but just like prioritizing your spouse now is the model for your kids.
Yeah.
And so if you're showing your kids that they're more important than your spouse, then you're training them to do the same thing.
Yep.
And the reason there is that order is because not only is God a God of order, but God knows why we need order. And so that helps us prioritize that as far as a heart posture, you know, because I think something that should be prioritized is this felt love for your partner. You know what I'm saying? This attitude of love for your partner. It's not just a matter of duty, doing the things. Right. It's not a matter of just cooking. It's not a matter of just providing. It's not a matter of just taking the kids to and from, taking the kids when the wife needs a break. It's not a matter of doing all the things. It's a matter of what attitude do you have when you do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not prioritizing spending time with your spouse, intentional moments of connection, you're not building a friendship. In that friendship is where you have this love. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be obedient to Christ and still be loveless. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what Jesus told the Apostle John in Revelation to write to the church of Ephesus. Like, you're doing all these things and I know your work. Like, I completely know. Like, not just like I'm familiar, I heard about, but because I am who I am, like I know your works. I know your toils. I know the patience that you had. I know how you checked the fake apostles. You know what I'm saying? Like false, all that. But he said, this is the one thing I had against you, that you abandoned the love that you had at first. And that love is a matter of priority. Yeah. Like the first thing is not a matter of order per se, like the love that you had, but at one point you prioritize the love that you had for me over what you're doing for me. And so when we talk about like the same type of love in marriage, it needs to come from a place of love, not duty. Because when you get to the point of leaving or your kids going off and getting married or going on about their careers or prioritizing their friendships and things like that, it's just going to be you two.
Yeah.
And if you haven't strengthened this love, if you haven't continually like been updated on your spouse's love, you know, their likes, dislikes, their fears, you know, the things that make them who they are, you're going to be doing those things out of duty and it's going to feel like a job.
Yep.
And when it feels like a job, it just feels like another I have to. And it's not a matter of I get to or I'm blessed to. It's just a matter of duty at that point.
I see marriage as, in this case, like if something like this happens where you're prioritizing the kids, you guys treat family time as quality time, then marriage loses its identity. And it's a covenant, it's sacred, it's companionship, it's friendship, it's all the things that God created us to be able to enjoy and the joy that comes from it. And it loses its satisfaction. And so it's so important that I'm not saying family time is not important. Like obviously we need to have family time because we prioritize that as well. But there needs to be time where just the two of you can connect. And some of the things that I hear is, well, we don't have no one here, no family. And so the kids are always in the house. How do we prioritize each other? That was actually a question that we got.
Yeah.
And I can empathize with that because we too don't have a ton of family here. Your parents live in Florida. You know, my family is far away as well. And so there's no one like closely knitted outside of, you know, our sister, niece, cousins that are here, but we literally have like one babysitter, two babysitters.
Yeah.
And so we've had those seasons, especially when they were infants, where we had to get creative.
Mhm.
And so practically what that looked like for us during that season was, okay, when the kids go down, having them on a routine was vital for us and the success and the health of our marriage when we was in the trenches,
Yeah.
lack of sleep, exhaustion. And we would go on the patio. We would take the little baby monitor. We would get in the jacuzzi to
Yeah.
just be able to prioritize time together, take a bath together where we can communicate. We would stay up and binge watch a show or watch a movie or even taking 15 minutes to be able to talk. I remember us playing, like having a baby in our arms, and we were playing like, what is that game called? Like Guess Who? It was a board game, but we were playing a game, baby sleeping right here in our arms. Whatever it looked like, we had to get creative. And so I don't want that to be an excuse to why you can't prioritize time of connection. Quality time is not quantity of time. Sometimes it's 5 minutes if that's all you have, but it's intentionally putting forth that effort to say, you matter, I value you, and you are more important.
Yeah. And I think the quality of our relationship actually makes parenting easier.
I agree.
Because parenting, I mean, we only have a 5 and almost 3-year-old at at the recording of this, but when we think about just how difficult it has been, like we haven't got into like the teenager attitudes or even the hormone, like all that stuff that we hear
We got a
other
three-nager.
parents you know what I'm saying, have to deal with. But it's still difficult, you know what I'm saying? Like because we have our moments, we do have a child who's on the autism spectrum. And so that comes with its own challenges.
Absolutely.
But because our relationship is strong, and because when you have a strong relationship, it makes the job easier. And I think one of the things that is essential to have this connection is there has to be this constant need of turning towards each other.
Yeah.
And turning towards each other basically is like when you are bidding for my attention, and this is the term used by John Gottman, like when you're bidding for my attention, whether it's something as small as like a joke, you know what I'm saying, or like a serious need, like we need to have a real issue, like I need to know you're here for me. Like when you bid for my attention, my response, or I would say the percentage of my response, that really is an indicator on the longevity of our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if I share this with you, but John Gottman, he did, like him and his research team, they did a study. They did a study of newlyweds, which I think was a great idea because the newlyweds are the ones who are
The happiest.
supposedly the happiest. The desire's great. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like in love. Like there's this like, you know what I'm saying? Just this giddiness about him. And what he found was like, I forgot how many couples it was, but basically they were able to do like a follow-up study of 6 years later on the couples that they researched, that they did this experiment with. And they found that the couples who turned towards their partner's bids, 86%, they were still married and they were happy.
Wow. It's a high percentage.
The couples who turned toward their partner's bids 33% of the time, they were divorced.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that just like when your partner's bidding for your attention, when your partner says like, hey, like I want to spend quality time, or hey, like I need time and not the family. I don't need the kids around. Like that's a bid for attention. That says like, I want you. Like I want you to myself. Like I don't want to share you with anybody for a certain amount of time. And when we don't respond to that, what we're doing is we're turning away. And when we turn away, what we're saying is we're not available. And when your spouse feels that you're not available, that is like, dang, like almost like in a small way, like, dang, like I'm not a priority. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like he's choosing or she's choosing something else over me. And it doesn't feel like it in that moment. But when you have a situation that is very, very needed, Like when you have a situation that you're talking and like there's this desire like for connection, this longing, like it's almost like when you have this real big desire for food, it's like my body wants food. I need food. I need to give it food. And it's almost like I have this desire to know you, this
Yeah.
desire to connect with you. And then it's like if they don't get it, it's like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost like a slap in the face in a sense.
There's a rooted sense of rejection that actually comes from that too, as well. When you're bidding for your spouse's attention, and sometimes it's nonverbal. It
Mhm.
can be a sigh, it can be a smile, it can be a gesture. It could be like, "Look at this, I want to show you this," or "What do you think about my hair?" or "What do you think about my outfit?" or "I really need you," or "I just need a hug right now." It can be the little things. It's not always, in something that's grand, but I think in turning away from that, it's also like there's resentment that builds up, there's
Yeah.
conflict that happens, there's tension, there's friction, and there's this sense of rejection because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get your attention and you're rejecting me in that moment.
Yeah. And when you feel rejected, you naturally put up your wall. Whether you put up your wall and you start to make yourself bigger to be seen, you start to complain, you start to criticize, you start to go after your spouse to get them to see you, or you start to pull away, you start to get quiet, you start to open up to other people. And now, because you're opening up to other people, whether it's a trusted other or whether it's not a trusted other and somebody who can cause harm to your marriage, now that open line of communication towards your spouse is starting to be disconnected.
Yeah.
And so now, instead of me feeling like I can share everything in the world with you, now I can only share things with you about finances or about the kids.
Yep.
I can't tell you what's in my heart. I can't trust you with conflicts. I don't want to tell you about what's going on at work. I don't want to tell you that I'm having a conversation with somebody at work that I feel is teeter-tottering that line, or to even invite you to pray with me. Like there's so many things that we don't invite our spouses in when we don't feel a sense of like openness and connection with them. And so we have to be mindful that when our spouse is bidding for our attention, we have to be mindful to respond to that. Because when they come to us, they're coming to us saying like, I need to know that you're here for me.
Yeah. Yep.
And you being responsive, you being available, you being accessible, like you being engaged shows them that I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I see you, I hear you. And even if it's something that I don't have the answer for, I want you to know that I'm with you.
Yeah.
And when your spouse hears that, not only with their ears, but also hear that in their nervous system, like it's something they can feel in their bodies, they have this felt sense of safety, this felt sense of I can trust you. Like I remember talking to this couple and like they have a healthy marriage, but there was the husband, he just got frustrated and just like had this outburst of anger. And the wife shared how this made her feel unstable because he was her stability. You know what I'm saying? Like they went through very rough upbringings, and because he was her now not her foundation, but because he was the stability in her life, you know what I'm saying? Like it was all that was shaken. But because they have a healthy relationship, they were able to come back and still talk and work through that. If you aren't secure in your relationship, it's going to be very hard in those moments. And so continuing to turn towards each other.
Yeah.
And so, man,
How to get back on track. If you find yourself in a place where you have now made everything about the kids, how do you get back on track? And I think it's in those practical ways that we talked about. Finding time to put the phone down, not with the kids, even turn off the TV. Like just to find moments where the two of you can be together.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
it is important because oftentimes a lot of couples do get to that place. They do get to that place of drifting.
Yeah.
And the first step is really to know that you've drifted apart.
Yeah.
Like evaluate like where were we versus where we are now. Do we feel closer? Do we feel like we're apart? And the awareness then creates this acceptance of like, okay, this is the reality. Like this isn't what I want to show social media. This isn't what I want the people at the church to know when we walk in holding hands and we smiling and waving and all the things. This is where we are. how can we not drift? We accept where we are. Now we have to have a conversation. We have the conversation, and now we're able to talk about it. If we can't talk it out and work through it by ourselves, then we need to invite a trusted other, somebody who we feel has the best intention for our marriage
Yeah.
to help us. You know what I'm saying? And somebody who is knowledgeable and credible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not like a mentor, or if it's not like somebody who's a leader in your life, then go get a therapist. Because
I got one.
you do. Yeah,
I threw you off.
you did. Not
You
throw
didn't
me
know
off.
my husband's a therapist.
But then also just being intentional with quality time. You know, that's a first step. Even if it's start small, if it's 10, 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Just spend 10, 15 minutes together, undistracted.
Mm-hmm.
Kids asleep. You might be tired. I get it. But start small and build a habit of consistent time. Like, it ain't got to be grandiose. It ain't got to be, 3.5, 4 hours. It ain't got to be a weekend. Like, just start with 10 minutes.
Yep.
And maybe just build off that 10 minutes. Maybe
Make a
10
huge
minutes
difference.
every other day. And then turn 10 minutes into 10 minutes every day. And then maybe 30 minutes to an hour every other day. And then 30 minutes to an hour every day.
Mm-hmm.
And just build off that and get used to spending time with each other.
Yeah. And I'm sure that'll be an adjustment if it's something that you haven't done in a while
Yeah.
in terms of without the kids, and it can feel a little bit awkward. But
It
for the
will
health
be.
of your marriage, you make time for what's important to you.
You do.
If something is important, you make time for it and you prioritize it. I don't care how busy you are. We find moments for family time. We have to prioritize time with each other. Like,
That's a
if you
great
want
question, yeah.
a healthy, thriving marriage, you have to make time. You have to invest. It is going to be work, but you have to be willing to do the work if you want to reap the benefits and the fruit of that.
So that's a great point, because although the work is hard, it is just as equally as hard when you have a terrible marriage. Like, they're both hard. It's just a matter of choosing which hard you
Choose
want.
your heart.
You have to choose your heart.
Yep.
And so, with that being said, what's the marriage emotion for us this week?
Let me tell y'all what we doing for our marriage in motion.
After the altar, it's marriage emotion.
You gonna sing it
We
now?
still do.
Hey,
We
okay, honey, I hear you.
still do.
It's not every day I get to hear my husband
We
sing
still
it.
do.
Okay, honey.
Come on, you
We
gotta put
still
some.
do. We still do.
You gotta put some reverb on me now.
Turn me up.
Okay.
I don't know.
We still do after all this time.
Okay.
After altar, my mind and tongue. Okay. All right. What's the marriage emotion?
Marriage in motion. Shift from family time to couple time, right? Notice the bids. This week, commit to paying attention to the bids that your spouse, we talked about this. It can be verbal. It can be nonverbal. It can be them asking you a question. It could be a smile. It can be a sigh. It can be, hey, look at this. Whatever that bid is, turning towards your spouse and giving them that attention will pay off in the long run, right? We talked about that in the episode, the longevity of your relationship. So in those moments, turn toward your spouse instead of turning away from your spouse, and then create one couple moment this week. One moment, put the phone down, put the kids to bed,
Put it down. Put them.
send
put
the kids
them
off
down.
somewhere,
Put
them
it
outside.
down. Put them down.
Whatever it looks
And then
like.
go put it down.
Okay, and create a moment of quality time. It doesn't have to be large in quantity, but quality time where the two of you can spend time connecting. That is your marriage in motion for this week.
Yeah, and remember, your phone, put it down,
Put it down.
put them down, and go put it down.
That's your marriage in motion for this week.
As always, like, subscribe, share.
Yes.
You know, if you found this helpful, share with a couple who might need it, who might be struggling with balancing, or as my wife would say, finding the weight that works for us in this new season between family time and quality time with your partner.
Yep.
And so, until next time,
This is We Still Do.
peace.
Bye.
Forever and always, gonna love you and always. No doubt you're my blessing. Ain't no second guessing. No one can separate.